everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Brawlbots Series 3. And oh boy, is it a big episode for you tonight, as we have some major names we actually haven't seen in a while in tonight's fight card. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start discussing the matches we will be seeing tonight. Such as our second fight of the night, where we see a 1-1 Cobalt taking on the Clusterbot Quadrio that has been pretty unsuccessful despite being decently seeded from last season. Team Brawlbots 0-2, and if they lose this next fight, they're 0-3, and they probably don't have a good chance of getting into the tournament. Then, our third fight of the night puts the 16th seed of BattleBot, who is also 0-2 and risks not getting into the tournament, going against a seed that is twice as high as their own, Minotaur, the 8th seed, who I believe actually has fought BattleBot in the past and won before. So it's going to be an interesting fight. Minotaur is 1-0 currently, so if they win this fight, they do have a good chance of being undefeated, but if they lose this fight, they still have a decent chance of getting in. Then in our third fight of the night, we see two 0-2 robots going at it to see who will be able to pick up their first win and who is going to be going 0-3. That is the Three Musketeers, who is 0-2, and Need for Speed, who is also 0-2. Both of these robots, or I suppose I should say all four, or five if you count Need for Speed's minibot, all five of these robots really need this win in order to have a chance, even a glimmer of hope of getting into the tournament. And then we have an incredible main event lined up. We have a 1-0 Rainbow of Death taking on the reigning champion, Black Diamond Requiem. So it's certainly going to be an interesting fight card, but we of course have to start with our first fight of the night between a 1-0 Whiplash taking on a 0-1 Volcanic. Interesting fight between a vertical spinner and lifter and a rammer. So, without further ado, let's get them into the arena. And there they are. Of course, we have Whiplash in the blue square with their very powerful vertical spinner and lifter combination, looking to rip apart and flip over the Rambot, Omni-Wheel Rambot of Volcanic, who is currently 0-1. So they're looking to pick up their first win. Whiplash looking to improve to a 2-0 record, I believe. And yeah, gonna be an interesting fight. And of course, to top it all off, we have Hydreigon in the corner for our house robot. So without further ado, let's get the first fight of the night started.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Fight is underway, and Volcanic and Whiplash immediately charging at each other. Whiplash using that vertical spinner already, getting some good hits onto the side of Volcanic, and Volcanic has actually been flipped over by Whiplash's lifter, but now Volcanic able to self-right very quickly and retreating away from the corner, now getting hit again by Whiplash's spinner. Volcanic shoves him into the wall, but not really doing all that much. And now getting hit by Volcanic and pinned again. And now Whiplash turns around and goes for an overhead attack with their spinner. And now a good ram from Volcanic, but now Whiplash shoves them into the corner and a massive hit. And now Whiplash with another overhead attack. And Volcanic, getting sent into the corner again, flipped over by Whiplash's spinner. And now Whiplash getting some more good hits, ripping off part of the wedge. And Volcanic taking some serious hits from Whiplash's spinner, and the Pulverizer got a shot in there too. And now Whiplash sends Volcanic up over the wall. And there you go, Whiplash takes the win. Whiplash is now finishing their fight card season 2-1, a very impressive record, meaning that they will more than likely be getting in, as they had a decently tough schedule and they still managed to come out positive. Volcanic falls to 0-2, so not a good look for them. They still have a slight chance in their last fight, but Whiplash takes the win.
Well, a very interesting fight. Volcanic seemed to just get bullied all around the arena, though, as Whiplash seemed to just own the ground game, as they were constantly getting underneath Volcanic. Volcanic did get some okay rams, but nothing really too impactful. But Volcanic, they tried their best, but they're now 0-2, I believe, and Whiplash moves to 2-0. Volcanic, not the greatest chance of getting in. Omni-wheel drive is pretty cool, but seems to only work if they have good ground clearance. And Whiplash definitely has that, and they're going with the classic four-wheel drive vertical spinner. So they're doing pretty well for themselves at 2-0. They have a decent chance of getting in. But now it's time for our second fight of the night between a very desperate Team BattleBots at 0-2 taking on Cobalt, who is 1-1. Looking to see if they can finish their season with a positive win record. So, without further ado, let's get them all into the arena and see who's going to be taking home the win for this fight. Back in the arena, we have Cobalt, of course, in the blue square with their extremely powerful vertical spinner, looking to completely destroy the cluster bots of Team BattleBots, consisting of Miniature Bronco from Season 1, Miniature Bite Force from Season 1, and of course Tombstone and Witch Doctor. So, without further ado, let's get this chaotic fight underway to see who is going to be taking home the win. Will Cobalt stay undefeated, or will Team BattleBots finally pick up a win?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Go Cobalt immediately flipping over Bite Force. Now all of Team BattleBots just rushes out of the square, and now a massive hit onto Witch Doctor of Cobalt, getting some massive hits, and there goes Witch Doctor. It's out of the arena. Or actually, no, it's not out of the arena. It's just in the corner. It's stuck. And now Tombstone getting some damage done. Cobalt is much bigger than all of these robots. And now Bronco comes to try and flip Cobalt, but not able to get underneath. And Bronco getting shoved into Galaga's corner, and Galaga with a massive hit. Oh, that's not good. Bite Force now tries to push Cobalt around, but now Cobalt gets a massive hit and sends Bite Force out of the arena, and there's Witch Doctor in the corner. Tombstone is actually out of the arena as well, and there goes Witch Doctor. It's now just Bronco in there, and I don't think they'll be able to do much to Cobalt as they're struggling to self-right. And now they go after Cobalt, and they actually flip them over, but Cobalt, of course, can just self-right with the spinner, and now a really good hit onto them. And now, oh, and a massive shot, sending Bronco flying out of the arena. Well, there you go. Cobalt is your winner, completely dominating this fight, as they will go to 2-1, I believe. So congratulations to Cobalt. They finish with a positive record. Yeah, Team BattleBots, well, they tried, but Cobalt was just too powerful. So your winner is Cobalt. Congratulations to them for putting up a very dominant performance against Team BattleBots.
Well, a very chaotic and destructive fight. Cobalt seemed to struggle to control itself in the power of that spinner, but it was able to get all 4 of Team BattleBots out. First, starting with, I believe it was Tombstone, then it was Bite Force, then it was Witch Doctor, and finally, an absolute monstrous hit sending Bronco out of the arena. So, very impressive win for Cobalt, and a very bad loss for Team BattleBots. Team BattleBots falls to 0-3, finishing their season without a single win. Not a good look. They probably won't be in the tournament. So, unfortunate for them. Cobalt, now at 2-1, has a very good chance of getting in. So, anyway, moving on to our third fight of the night, we now have Minotaur taking on BattleBot. Another fight where a robot is looking to improve to 2-0, and one robot is just looking for a win at all. So, let's see if BattleBot will remain winless, or if Minotaur will finally pick up a loss on its resume. And there they are. Of course, we have Minotaur's extremely powerful drum spinner looking to tear apart BattleBot as much as they possibly can. And BattleBot with their flipper, well, looking to survive. So let's see if they can pull it off. They are fighting someone who is double their seed. So, gonna be an interesting fight. Let's see who's gonna take it.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Minotaur gets their drum spinner up to speed already, and Battlebot toppling over. So now they self-right and getting a good flip on the Minotaur. And Minotaur able to get down off their side, but another massive flip nearly going out of the arena, hitting the side of Battlebot, and now trying to damage the flipper. They are upside down, so their drum isn't really going to get any uppercuts, but now they're right side up from another massive flip. Battlebot's side's getting some hits from Minotaur's drum. Now flipped over again. They're going to have to try and self-right. Minotaur waiting, and they pounce. And Battlebot still trying to self-right. They do so there. And now Minotaur going back after them, but they're not low enough. Well, actually, they might be low enough, but Battlebot's flipper is just going underneath the drum rather than going at the forks. And now another massive flip. Bronco, again, sent careening through the air. These are some of the best flips we've seen Battlebot get out of all of its fights, but now getting tipped over by Hydreigon as they were too close to the corner. And now that seems to be a piece off of the bottom of Battlebot's flipper. And Minotaur still just waiting for Battlebot to just self-right. Seems to be letting it waste its CO2 gases. Now another good hit from Minotaurs. Now they get flipped across the arena, nearly bouncing out of the arena. Battlebot trying to capitalize, but not able to get underneath. And now Battlebot getting brought to the corner again, and now flipped over by Hydreigon again. And oh no, that's critical damage. That is the flipper broken off of the chassis, and Minotaur is now just bullying it around the arena. Oh no. Battlebot laying there looking kind of sad as now Minotaur. Oh no, some more good hits adding insult to injury, flipping Battlebot back over. And flipping it back over. Eventually, there we go. Flipping it back over again, and then removing the stability arms. But Minotaur with some very impressive hits in this fight. Battlebot, some very impressive flips, but not enough. Battlebot is going to fall to 0-3 with that loss. Minotaur actually improves to 2-0. So if they win their next fight, then they'll actually be 3-0. So that pretty much guarantees Minotaurs into the tournament, as they already have 2 wins. Battlebot, it's not looking good. They only have 0 fights left. They've already done all 3 of their fights, and they've lost all 3 of them. They did have a decently tough schedule, but unless we need at least one 0-3 bot to get into the tournament, Battlebot's probably out. So Minotaur, your winner of this fight.
Cease.
Well, that fight felt like 2 different fights. For the first minute and a half, we saw Battlebot just chucking Minotaur all around the arena, nearly getting some Udas on a couple of occasions. Minotaur held in strong though, and they were able to just get the damage to rack up against Battlebot and completely rip off their flipper along with their self-righting arms. And Battlebot was left incapacitated in the corner, and Minotaur left victorious. Battlebot falls to 0-3. Another robot going to 0-3. Unfortunate because this is the 16th seed, so pretty high seed considering they went 0-3. But, oh well, they might have the smallest chance of getting in if they had some good fights compared to losses, or if they had some good losses compared to good wins. But yeah, if everyone who gets into the tournament has at least 1 win, Battlebot has no chance of getting in. But who knows? That is for another time. So, speaking of another time, it's now time for our 4th fight of the night between another 2 robots at a chance of going 0-3. We have the 3 Musketeers taking on Need for Speed. Need for Speed, well, they were pretty impressive in every other tournament except for this one, where they've actually gotten some pretty unlucky matchups, such as Blacksmith, and Blacksmith is currently, I believe, 2-0, if not 3-0, but the Three Musketeers also had their fair share of difficult fights, as they also had to fight Blacksmith, and they had to fight Meanbot, one of the best robots in the competition. So, not entirely surprising that both of these robots are 0-2, but they still probably want to win to even have a chance of getting in. So, without further ado, let's get them into the arena to see who is going to be able to do and who is going to die. And there all of them are. We have the Three Musketeers, of course, off their 0-2 record, and going to be interesting to see if they're able to win and pick up, well, a chance of getting into the tournament. And of course, Need for Speed is also looking to do so, as they are also 0-2, as they've gotten pretty hard matchups as well, but they have had some good losses, so potentially a chance of getting in for them if they win this fight. We'll just have to wait and see.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And they're off. Need for Speed's Minibot immediately charges into one of them, and then now Need for Speed going after the other two, as they've actually lost half of their wedge already, but now some good hits. And now one of them, the Crusher, going after the side of Need for Speed, but not able to do anything from there. And Need for Speed rams one of them, and now one of them is flipped up on top of the screws. Oh, and there goes the rest of Need for Speed's wedge, but it seems to knock over the Crusher just without it. And Galaga gets a massive shot onto it, but now the other the other rammer from the Three Musketeers rams Need for Speed into the corner. Galaga gets a good hit onto them, and now, oh, another good hit from Need for Speed, shoving them back into Galaga's corner, and Galaga just completely Udas them, and that's pretty much it for the Three Musketeers, as the only one left is the Crusher, which has already lost half of its wedge. And it's Crusher thanks to Galaga. And there it goes! My goodness, sent careening out of the arena. Well, Need for Speed is going to get the win, and now they're pushing around their Minibot. And, oh, they're trying to feed it to Galaga. And now they leave it, and there it goes. Well, Need for Speed, an impressive win in this fight. Galaga gyros itself over. Some massive power from that spinner. But Need for Speed gets their first win to end off their fight card season. They are 1-2, so not the best performance, but they do have a good chance of getting in, as a lot of bots are 0-3 right now, and the Three Musketeers are one of them, so Need for Speed, congrats.
Well, what a fight indeed. That was a fight of all time. Need for Speed, well, they KO'd one of the Three Musketeers by themselves. They got one of them stuck on top of the screws upside down, unable to get off. And the other two, well, they just got obliterated by Galaga. However, not really unexpected, as it was 5 Rambots in the arena. So, pretty expected that they were going to use the hazards. So, Galaga, good job for doing your job. And Need for Speed, congrats on picking up your first win in a pretty dominating fashion. Gives you at least somewhat of a chance of getting in if we need some extra bots. And the Three Musketeers, I'm sorry, but yeah, you're 0-3. But anyway, moving on, it's now time for the main event. That's right, we have the reigning champion, Black Diamond Requiem, taking on one of the most destructive robots we have ever seen. It's Rainbow of Death. Without further ado, let's get them both into the arena and see what kind of carnage is waiting. And there they all are. We have Black Diamond Requiem in the blue square, the #1 seed, the heavy hitter, looking to bring in their fight card season at a perfect 3-0. Rainbow of Death looking to improve to 2-0 and stay undefeated, so they have a good chance of going undefeated. But of course, Black Diamond Requiem, the champion, stands in their way. So, Will Rainbow of Death be able to do it and dethrone the king, or will Black Diamond Requiem defend his crown? Let's find out.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Event underway, and Black Diamond Requiem immediately with a massive ram onto Rainbow of Death, flipping them over and now getting him into the corner. Some good rams here. And again, Rainbow of Death escapes though, and breaks off one of those low to the ground forks that Black Diamond Requiem has added. And now getting some more good rams onto Rainbow of Death. And now they've they get a good ram, popping Rainbow of Death into the air. Black Diamond Requiem's wedge is very durable. They've actually flipped Rainbow of Death over again. Hydreigon now flips them back over. As now Black Diamond Requiem getting sent flying this time. Rainbow of Death, some incredible power in that spinner, but breaking off a piece off the top of Black Diamond Requiem's wedge, but now getting pushed into Hydreigon's corner and flipped over again. As now still trapped in between the two behemoths and flipped over again. They just both miss each other. He might be a little punch drunk. Black Diamond Requiem gets a good ram there. And they miss again. Oh, both of these bots. Well, they both might be top tier, but missing some shots. But there was a massive one. Rainbow of Death got sent flying. As now, another good shot from Rainbow of Death. As they've actually broken off the middle of Black Diamond Requiem's wedge and another massive hit. But now Rainbow of Death getting rammed by Black Diamond Requiem, and the Pulverizer gets some good hits onto the top. And there goes Rainbow of Death. They're out of the arena. My goodness, Black Diamond Requiem. Well, now they're going and tussling with Hydreigon. Black Diamond Requiem, I wouldn't recommend that. Remember, the house always wins. And there you go, nearly Uda'd from halfway across the arena. But Black Diamond Requiem, my goodness, what a performance. They absolutely demolished Rainbow of Death, shoving them coast to coast, wall to wall. But Black Diamond Requiem hung in there and won with sheer tenacity and durability, just not dying. They did lose a bunch of parts from their wedge, but hey, those two outer pieces kind of formed a dustpan, and it was enough to get Rainbow of Death up and over the wall. Rainbow of Death still 1-1, so a decent record for them.
Well, what a fight. My goodness, Black Diamond Requiem was on top of that fight the whole time. Rainbow of Death was doing their best to try and get some good hits, and to be fair, they definitely did get some good ones, but Black Diamond Requiem flipped them over so many times just by ramming them into the wall or getting them pinned between Hydreigon and themselves, and they both missed each other a couple times, but that is to be expected when it's a very fast rammer. But your winner in the end, after sustaining some serious damage, most of the wedge gone, and the rest of the robot at risk of being completely destroyed, Black Diamond Requiem still manages to just do what they did to Black Rose, and that was Uda them. Somehow, with just enough ramming power, they got Rainbow of Death over the wall. And Rainbow of Death, well, couldn't do anything from there. They're already out of the arena before they even knew what hit them. But Black Diamond Requiem finishing their season in the fight cards at a perfect 3-0. So congratulations to them. Rainbow of Death, unfortunate for them, going 1-1. Still a good record though, as assuming they win their next fight, they're definitely going to get in, and even if they lose their next fight, they still have a good chance, as they lost to the champion and whoever they're going to be fighting next, which you'll find out in a later episode. But anyway, that is all for this episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, do all that YouTube stuff, and yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.